So since this is a Bass Pro Shop, we're going to get some sunblock. We have baits, we have different hooks, stick bottles, Okay everybody, we made it back from Bass Pro Shops. Here's my bag full of goods for under $100. We're gonna get right to it. Just to get into today's video, we're gonna be fishing for catfish, bluegill, and crappie. So this is our kit for under $100 from Bass Pro Shops. So like you saw earlier in the video, you saw a couple of the items that I had. Sit this over here. I'll set my receipt here. We're gonna go through this item by item. So first things first, I'll get into Bass Pro Shops hat. So this was my first time at Bass Pro Shops, so I was really excited. You know, I wanted to get some type of memorabilia to wear when I'm out fishing, so, you know, other fishermen will know, oh, he isn't playing, he's serious. He's been to Bass Pro, that's only fishing gear, fishing supplies. So I picked up this nice Bass Pro fishing supplies camouflage hat. Net on the back, breathability, and the hat was $9.99. So this was my first grab. I'll set that here. Second grab, cut and clean 7-inch fillet knife, stainless steel. It also comes with like a carrying case. You can hook this up to your belt loop or your a pouch. You can put it in your backpack, carry on, or leave at the house. But I wanted to get this because I will be doing some catch, clean, and cooks. So I wanted to get this because I know this will come in handy. It also comes with the scoop. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, but the scoop at the bottom of this blade is for gutting and cleaning out the insides of the fish. So that's also handy too for people who don't like to touch the insides with their hands and things of that nature. And the cut and clean knife was $6.99. $6.99 for the cut and clean knife. They also had, you know, very expensive knives as well, but I just wanted to give this Bass Pro Shop Bass Pro Shop items a chance. So we're gonna give this a chance. So far we have the hat, cut and clean knife, because we're going to do some catch, clean, and cook. All right, next we have up this net. Let me see, this is also Bass Pro Shops brand. As you can see here, this is a folding net. You know, you can easily store this in a 5-gallon bucket, backpack, or whatever you use to carry your fishing gear. So as you can see here, it kind of folds out like so. And the net just, as you fold it out, the top part expands as well. So it's kind of like a triangular shape, if you can see that. And it's also pretty deep, as you can tell. So here's the front view, side view, up and down view. And it also extends out. So the collapsible length of this net is 21 inches and the extended length is 47 inches. So to extend it, it's a nice swivel here. You take this here, unscrew that, and then you can kind of pull it up. And as you can see here, 47 inches long. You know, it also has good reach, and it's pretty sturdy. You know, I've seen some nets that are kind of flimsy when you do this, but if you lock this in place, it's pretty sturdy. You can pull up a fish, no problem. I'll go ahead and collapse this back down. And to collapse the net back, it's kind of like a tab on the inside. You kind of have to push it down and then it folds up. So I think this is a good item for any fishing kit, a net, just in case you have a fish that's almost going to get off the hook when you're reeling it in, or if it's on the side of the boat, get you a net and that'll come in handy. So the net came up to $14.99. So far that's the most expensive item on our list, $14.99 for the net. And I got mine in red, but they also come in red, blue, yellow, green, and assortment of colors. All right. Next, let's see what we got here. Sinkers. I think every fishing kit should have sinkers. This is called a bass casting sinker assortment. This is 40 pieces here. They come in, you know, a variety of weights, maybe 1 ounce, 2 ounce, maybe 16th or things like that. I'm not really sure the ounces because it's not labeled, but this is a 40 pack, you know, from small to large. And what I like about these is they have holes on the weights, so you can easily attach them to any type of what are they called here? I'm not sure the name of them, but these here, you can attach these to any reel very easily. The sinkers are $9.99. So far, second most expensive item here are the sinkers for $9.99. All right, next we have Catfish rig leader. So these are the only 2 leaders and hooks that I will be using on my next fishing outdoor trip for catching catfish. These are, I'm not sure the size, but they look like circle hooks. And what I like about these is they already have an attached swivel on the line, so you can easily attach that to the line or any swivel hook, and you'll be good to go, ready to cast. As long as you have your bait attached, you'll be ready to cast. So these 2 catfish hooks are $1.79. So these are fairly cheap, and the hooks seem very sturdy and sharp. So I do feel confident about these. We're going to give these a try. All right, next we have Stinger rig hook. Like I said, I'm all about convenience when swapping out hooks, swapping out lines, swapping out bait. These here are a triple hook, which also have a leader and hook on the end, so that way you can attach it to your line and reel very conveniently, swap out from reel to rod, and you'll be good to go as long as you attach your bait. All right, Stinger hooks, $4.19. $4.19 for the Stinger rig hooks. So these are what I'll be using to catch bluegill and crappie. They do come in different colors: red, gold, silver. I've had good luck with red, so I'm going to give these red a try. What else? Also here, it's just a 10 pack of the triple hooks. Just in case something happens to these, I just got a 10 pack. Again, like I said, I'm a fan of the red, so I'm going to give these are a size 10, 8 quantity triple hook. Again, Bass Pro Shop brand, and I'm going to give these a try to catch the crappie and the bluegill. Those are $3.99. $3.99 for a 10 pack. All right, next, again, a fan of the red. This is Mustad brand Ultra Point. These are a quantity of 10, double wide gap, size 8. They come in red. I just threw a couple gold hooks that I had laying around in this packages just so I didn't have any loose hooks laying around, but these are also what I'm going to be using for crappie and bluegill fishing as well. Those came up to the Mustad hooks, $3.49. So $3.49 for the Mustad hooks. I've heard a lot of good things about these online, other fisherman videos, so I'm going to give them a try myself. Here I just have a couple paddle tail minnows. For the fish here in the lakes and ponds that I usually fish at, they really gravitate towards earthworm colored lures. So that's what caught my eye on these. They had these in like small, medium, large. For the fish, I think they're, just now spawning in the springtime, so they're not that big. So I wanted to get something smaller, so that way it's easier for the fish to draw their attention as well as try to go after. So these paddle tail minnows, I think these will be a good ideal for the crappie and bluegill. So I'm gonna give these a try. The paddle tail minnows are $2.49. So right now, I think we're at about $60. I'll do the math, do some calculations in the budget, and then see where we are from there. Next, I have the worm rival. Again, convenience. This also has a leader and hooks already attached. So you don't have to worry about using a jig head, different hooks, attaching to the line, attaching to any type of reel, getting confused on trying to find different things. This here is ready to go right out the package. And I'll open this up just so you can see here. And the good thing about this is it has a double hook. So whether the fish bites it at the front or the back, it's hooked. So as you can see here, maybe if you get a close up, you can see that, but it's very realistic. It has two hooks, and you know, like I said, the fish in the lakes and ponds here in Indiana, they really draw attention to earthworms and big reds, so I couldn't pass this up. The price on this worm revival is $2.39. And also, you know, when you're fishing, you can go through a pack of worms in one fishing outing, even though they're, you know, fairly cheap. This here, you can keep going cast after cast after cast, even catch after catch after catch. So that's really much what I'm looking for. Not really big on buying equipment and baits and stuff over and over and over again. I want to go with something that works well for me, so that way I can just put it in my fishing bag, go out to fish, and keep catching fish with the same equipment, so I won't have to keep spending more money. So this here was, I believe, $3.49, and you know, I can't wait to give this a try. Oh, next item up, bait wax. Bait wax, get real. Real bait attractant for any lure. It says powerful, very potent, very sticky, effective, long-lasting, mess-free bait scents. So the scent on this is Nightcrawler. Once again, I couldn't pass this up. Nightcrawler for here. This is a bait worm. I believe these two will go together perfectly. I'm not sure how it works. I think this opens sort of like a deodorant stick. So you maybe just, you know, rub it on the worm. And it says to reapply after every 15 to 20 casts. And I think that works pretty good because, you know, after being dipped in the water so many times, of course it'll lose its scent and things like that. But 15 to 20 casts, I think that's good. So I can't wait to give these two a try. So the bait wax is $10.99. So far, the bait wax is the second most expensive item on our list. And I think we're at around $60 so far. So bait wax, $9.99, I think it is. Actually, $10.99. $10.99 for the bait wax. All right, next item up is Gulp. Gulp Maggots. I've heard a lot of good things about Gulp brand, so I couldn't pass these up without giving them a try. And the maggots are like, probably like half an inch, maybe a quarter inch. I think these will be very easy to put on the circle hooks. These triple hooks here. So these is why I got the maggots to go with these. So I think this will be a good pair for the crappie and the bluegill. So the Gulp maggots cost $4.99. I'm not sure if Gulp or Berkeley Gulp is just an expensive brand, but this is more expensive than some of the other baits and lures that I have. But Berkeley Gulp maggots are $4.99. All right, next up we have Berkeley Power Bait Crappie Nibbles. These come in all sorts of colors. I got yellow. They also come in like neon, yellow, pink, green, blue, but for the waters out here in Indiana, I just went with the yellow because I think these will work. So the triple hooks, power bait, crappie nibbles, these is what I intend on pairing together. Or I can also pair these up, the gulp and the maggots. So a couple pairs I'm gonna plan on doing is the gulp and the triple hooks, the power bait, and the paddle tail minnows, just so this has some scent onto it when I'm casting and reeling in. And oh, forgot the price of these. The price of the power bait crappie nibbles are $4.99. So I think all Berkeley gulp, things like that, are like $4.99 in a jar. But it's so many in here that these should last for like so many fishing trips. One of the final items I got was the Indiana fishing guide. Whatever city, state you're fishing in, I will recommend getting one of these so you can know your laws, regulations, and it has just a ton of information that I didn't know before. So it also has like coupons, different places to fish, different places to camp. You can pick these up at your local fishing store, gun shop, or possibly even like Walmart, Meijer, Target, or anything like that. So I believe that got us up to a total of $90.48 for all these supplies here. And also want to go over my reels. I'll go over this one first. So this here is what I have, a Zebco 202. I think this has about a 10-pound line on it. Yeah, 10-pound line on this Zebco 202. I picked this up at Meijer. I believe it was around 30, 40 bucks. So this is what I'll be using for crappie and bluegill fishing, for my casting out to crappie and bluegill. And my next pole here, rod and reel, I should say, is a Shakespeare Alpha. Shakespeare Alpha. This is what I'll be using for catfish fishing. That's because this has a stronger line. This has a 12-pound line on it, and the gear ratio is a 6-to-1. I know I've done some research reviews. They recommend like at least a gear ratio of 6-to-1 for catfish fishing. So this is what I'll be using for catfish. All right. So you seen my bait, you seen my kit, you seen my reels. I don't know if I'm gonna add it into this video or the next video, but I can't wait to use everything I bought from Bass Pro Shops to catch some catfish, bluegill, crappie.